There's a little spring right here, right? That your handle lifts up here, but that spring pushes it back down. And then a very simple lock, just kind of a slide bolt lock, right? Hey everybody, Brent Hull, Hull Building, Hull Millwork, Fort Worth, Texas. I'm going to talk to you today about the evolution of hardware, believe it or not. Actually, it's a pretty cool story, okay? So the very first, earliest locks, okay, earliest latches were latches, like a gate latch, right? Where there's just a little thumb and you're lifting up a latch on the other side. That's the earliest types of locks, right? Think about America when before there's foundries, before there's things, there's just blacksmith taking ore iron and turning it into functional elements, okay? As we get a little bit further, as we progress, right, and you become better craftsman, better blacksmith, better availability of materials, you begin to get the very first types of lock, which is called an open face lock, which is what this is right here. You'll see that there's a little spring. It's actually pretty ingenious the way it's put together. There's a little spring right here, right? That your handle lifts up here, but that spring pushes it back down. And then a very simple lock, just kind of a slide bolt lock, right? Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, right? Something that can be manufactured and crafted by a blacksmith. This is the earliest type of lock, okay? Next, as money and ability improved, you began to get into a closed face lock, a box lock or a rim lock, okay? And this would go on the outside of the door, right, like this, right? And so this would, it would go here, there'd be a little catch on this side, right? And this would be kind of the next generation of locks, right? Basically, you don't have this open face anymore. You have a closed face, and there's the key where this latch would have come out, right? Still iron, right? Not much brass, not much other details. You might have, like here, you might have a brass knob, right? So you might have, this might be the only brass in the system, right? But you'd have an iron box, little brass lock. The next iteration, okay, or that same version is basically this rim lock here, right? Now we've progressed into brass, away from the ironwork, but we've still got this same system. You've got a locking key system. It's a box lock. The guts of it are essentially that inside, covered in a brass box. So this is kind of an elevated version, right? There's your catch, right, that I was showing you before. It's mortised actually into the casing. Very typical, right? On the back side, okay, so this is the outside. This is what you would see. You would see a very small, notice the scale of these little knobs are pretty small, right? That's pretty typical. And then you have your little door for your key on the outside where it would cover. This is a key cover, right?